Hi there, it's Thursday. Welcome to my Thursday Facebook Live. It is my continued education about essential oils. And hopefully, if you are joining in every single week, you will learn a little bit more about how the oils can support bodily systems, physically as well as emotionally. And obviously also, if you miss any of these sessions, it's really not a problem because I do upload them to my YouTube channel. And they also stay live on my feed in my Facebook Botanicamy page, so you can always just go and review on there, put in some comments or questions that you have, and obviously share the knowledge with those that you think would benefit from learning a little bit more. So welcome to you all joining in. I'm going to give a couple of minutes. Facebook usually takes some time before it allows people to come in. So today we are going to talk heavy science stuff, but I'm going to try and make it as easy as possible, as understandable as possible. It's just the science behind essential oils really do fascinate me, the reason why they work, why we use them to support certain body systems or emotions. So yes, today we're talking about alcohols. And that's actually a topic that came up because obviously as lockdown has now ended, or come to an end, I believe there's been quite a few queues outside the bottle stores with, like banner tape and the whole thing. So welcome to all those that have just joined in. Anli, I can see you've just joined in. Hello, hello. Bebop Grace. Oh, I like that name. That's just, sounds like a rock star. And Yolandi, fantastic. Thank you. Welcome to my class today. Gwen is also just logged in. Welcome, Gwen. Today we are going to talk a little bit about alcohols. So whether you're leaning towards hand sanitizers, whether you're thinking, oh my goodness, I could have been doing with a beer or a glass of wine in the last couple of weeks. We're not talking about those alcohols, unfortunately. Hopefully you didn't have to stand in a queue like really long since Monday to try and get some or to get your hands onto some alcohols. But today we are going to talk about alcohols in essential oils. Okay. And this to me is a really fascinating subject. Oh my goodness, we even have Michelle that's just logged in. Hello, Michelle, all the way from the UK. So let's get started. I think we've given enough minutes for people to come in. So share the love, show me your love. You know what to do. There's some amazing emojis in Facebook. Thank you, Facebook. So let's go and get started. The reason I chose to talk about alcohols today is obviously quite relevant because it's a word that's on a lot of people's tongues at the moment. But more than that, they are a functional group on some of the chemical constituents in essential oils that really do offer quite a lot of support to humans emotionally, but also physically. Okay, so let's first start looking at breaking it down back to basics. So terpenes are the aromatic compounds or molecules that plants make. And in that is a subgroup called monoterpenes. And these monoterpenes are actually found in some small amount in almost all essential oils. And there's actually a really good scientific explanation for that because monoterpenes are the really small molecules. And because they are really small and they're very aromatic, which means that they actually are quite sensitive to heat, any kind of temperature fluctuation, but it also means they evaporate quite nicely and quite quickly as well. So because most essential oils are actually steam distilled, you then see how easy it is for these monoterpenes to then actually diffuse or to evaporate together with the steam that comes off the plant material. And then basically through the steam distillation, obviously then these molecules are then collected and then through the distillation process with the water and the cooling it down in the water droplets that form, obviously the essential oils are then separated from the hydrosols or the flower waters as we would call them. Okay, so monoterpenes are the first ones that are actually starting to evaporate, and therefore it makes sense that most essential oils actually do contain monoterpenes. And in this group of monoterpenes, one of the chemical sort of side tails on that structure, if you can think back to organic chemistry days, a functional group in other words, one of those is called an alcohol. So these are all the things that are going to end in OL, for instance, linalool or terpenol or geraniol. Okay, so all of those are monoterpene alcohols. We do also have sesquiterpene alcohols, and this is something that I will get to in a future lesson or a future continued education class. Today we're going to focus on the monoterpene alcohols. Okay, so monoterpene alcohols are really, really teeny tiny molecules, which is brilliant because that allows them to actually, they are so small that they actually can go through the cell membrane. And that's obviously really beneficial because that means they can go to work and do whatever it is that we need them to do to support our bodies within our cells as well as on the outsides. And that also is already showing you that it's going to have some kind of skin benefit because we're made of cells, okay? And there's cells on the outside as well. So if we can get the essential oils inside quite quickly, you know it's going to have some kind of beneficial effects. But more than that, because they are aromatic, you're going to be able to use them through inhalation as well. So cold air diffuser or simply putting it in your hand and inhaling, because then obviously those messages are going to be sent to your limbic brain, which is then either going to increase or decrease or balance the certain secretion of certain of your neurotransmitters. All right, so there was the heavy science. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty stuff on how you can incorporate monoterpene alcohols, because that is a big word, but the essential oils themselves actually are quite regularly used in normal day-to-day use. Okay, so let's get into that. All right, so those that are classified as monoterpene alcohols, I've just mentioned, are the ones that end in OLs, okay? And these oils, when used aromatically, can have really relaxing aromas. They can be very good at helping to soothe anxious feelings. They are very good at repelling activity when they're used topically because they are really pungent. Remember I said about those are the really small ones that actually evaporate quite quickly. They're really aromatic. They've got strong fragrances. So those are the ones that are usually very good in repelling activity. So thinking the mozzies, the flies, all those kind of scenarios. They've got very good cleansing properties, both surface for cleansing your home, but also for your skin. So very beneficial for your skin. And it helps your skin to look young and healthy. And who doesn't want to keep on looking young and healthy without the addition of all those nasty toxins and chemicals that most people inject into themselves or even go and cut out of themselves or laser out of themselves, okay? So essential oils, really good to support those kind of conditions without any of the side effects or without any addictions. Internally, if you've got a brand of oils that has been marked on the label safe for internal use as a food supplement, please don't use essential oils if they don't very clearly specify or stipulate on the label to be used internally. Please don't use them internally if they're not marked like that. But these essential oils that are marked safe for internal use at a specific concentration or dilution, they are actually really good at supporting the circulatory system. A lot of them are also really good for the endocrine system, your hormonal system in other words, and we'll talk about one of those specifically, and then also to calm nervous tension. So you can see that this group of molecules actually has quite a versatile and holistic effect on the body because they are really good at relaxing you, number one. Topically, really good for the skin as well as for cleansing. And internally, they can support circulatory. So that's thinking about the blood vessels and those kind of things. Endocrine, hormonal, as well as nervous system, all your nerves. So really a beneficial chemical constituent to get used to, okay? So monoterpene alcohols. And these are found in really high concentrations in Melaleuca or tea tree, geranium, it's the geraniol that's in there, coriander, basil, and lavender. So let's dig a little bit deeper into those specific 5 oils. I'm not going to talk about the physical benefits that much today. I'm more going to focus on the emotional benefits that these monoterpene alcohols are going to give you. And then I'm also going to practically tell you how you could then basically incorporate these essential oils. Oh my goodness, Catherine, you've just logged in. Welcome, welcome. Taking some good lunch time to up-level yourself. And my cousin all the way from the Netherlands. Hello, Ricky. Hope you're doing well. So today we're doing monoterpene alcohols. You've missed a little bit at the start of this continued education class today. So be sure to go and watch it in the replay. Share the love with those that really want to or need the info. And obviously I'll be uploading it to my channel as well afterwards for you to go and watch the replay if you've missed the first part. So let's dig into those oils a little bit. So let's talk about the first one, Melaleuca or tea tree. If you've seen from my posts this week on my Facebook page, you would have seen that I've been talking quite heavily about tea tree. It is one of my favorite essential oils because it simply just is so versatile for several different things. So whether you're cleaning your home, whether you're using it on your skin to support certain irritations or even conditions where you have breakouts, really good for that. And also more than that, aromatically, it's a really good oil as well. So because it contains the terpenol and there's a 4 in between there, the terpenol, which is the monoterpene alcohol, is really a clarifying oil. So emotionally, it is very powerful for protecting energetic boundaries. Okay, and unfortunately this week I've been experiencing quite a lot of energetic interference, let's call it that. I've had a rough week. I don't know exactly what's going on with the energy levels with everyone around, but because there is now a shift with what's happening with the lockdown, I think, our stress levels are different now to what they were maybe 2 weeks ago. There's quite a few things being put out into the news, onto the media, so those things might have an effect. But putting tea tree or Melaleuca in your diffuser is a really good oil to protect your own energetic boundaries. Okay, so that's how it's going to be affecting you emotionally. If we look at how we can apply it for the physical benefits and how you can enjoy the Melaleuca or the tea tree, obviously a really good essential oil to add to your homemade toner, because it's really good for skin irritations as well as when you have certain breakouts. Okay, and it's also a really good oil to use because it's so high in antifungal properties to be using for nail care. Okay, so there we go, skin and nails, the topical application, the aromatic application for the emotional benefits, and then obviously if you're using a brand of essential oil, then obviously you can use it internally as well, and this is going to have quite a lot to do with supporting your immune system and with certain bacterial infections or fungal infections as well as viral infections. Okay, Gwen, so have I. Yes, definitely. There we go. More than one person feeling the weird energies going around. So definitely tea tree is one to try. You could also try, if you don't have a cold air diffuser, to put a drop on your pulse points. I believe that is a really good way to try as well for the energetic boundaries, because then you are going to get a whiff of it all the time, and it's going to be in your vicinity all the time, and it's also going to have the skin benefits on your pulse points as well. The next oil, Geranium, and this one obviously contains geraniol. It is a beautiful smelling oil, but it has repelling activities for insects. So you can smell good while you are repelling the new-nus that you don't want near you. Okay, so hi, we've got more people logging in. Just a reminder, feel free to share the love. There's wonderful emojis in Facebook that you can use, and you can obviously also share what it is that I'm teaching you about today in my continued education class with friends that you think may need the information. So please go and tag them so they can hear the good info too. So geranium has geraniol in it, and this is a very clarifying oil, really good at opening the heart to healing and love and trust. So this morning I actually tried adding tea tree as well as geranium in my diffuser, and those are two fragrances that I've never thought of putting together for some reason, and I'm not sure why, but it really was a good combo. And it was simply 2 drops of tea tree and 2 drops of geranium, and I really felt the energies settling, and I was quite calm, and I could continue with my work without feeling I'm not going to get things done. So definitely had a really powerful emotional effect on me this morning through my limbic system and through breathing in these aromatic molecules through my nasal passages going to the limbic brain. Catherine, oh, thank you so much. Catherine is saying I'm looking really beautiful even if I'm stressed. Got to try, but I must say the essential oils really do support me, so maybe that's why I'm a lot calmer now than what I was when I woke up this morning. So really good thing. All right, let's look at coriander. So this is one of those oils which I found really interesting when I dug in deep and learned a little bit more about coriander, because look, coriander as a herb, when you include it in your cooking, it's such a beneficial herb. It's got detoxing properties for heavy metals. It really adds good flavor to your food. Okay, now I know there's some of you on this call today who have that genetic mutation who says that it tastes like soap. Okay, so I'm terribly sorry for you. You're missing out, okay? And unfortunately, that is a genetic predisposition that you have, and we can't change that. But for those of you that really do like coriander, it's actually called the oil of integrity. And this is especially a good oil to use if you're someone that is really snappy, okay? I fall into that category. So when I have not had enough sleep, I am snappy, okay? I can't deal with too much, all right? So coriander, it definitely is an oil to reach for. And what it allows you to be or to do is to become more accepting and tolerant of yourself, which also means you're going to be more tolerating and accepting of those around you and of things that are going on around you. I mean, how powerful is that? Okay, Ricky, best family genes. Okay, she is family. She is a cousin. So she's being really biased over there. Dalian is saying, I'm thinking spearmint is what you were trying to say there. Clove on guard in the diffuser today. That sounds like an amazing combination because clove actually, by the way, is really beneficial when you are feeling or having feelings of anger. The on guard's obviously brilliant for immune boosting, and then the spearmint is really uplifting. Okay, so that is an amazing combo. Thank you for sharing that, Dalian. I'm going to try that one later this afternoon as well. So coriander obviously has a very high concentration of linalool in it as well. So there's that OL at the end, signifying it's an alcohol. It's a monoterpene alcohol, really teeny tiny, going to have a lot of skin benefits as well. And it literally helps you turn self-betrayal into integrity. Okay, we all need a little bit of that in our lives every now and then. All right, so coriander, just a little bit of an extra tip there. Coriander and cilantro, they come from the same plant, but from different parts of the plant. So the coriander will be from the seeds, okay? And the cilantro essential oil will be from the leafy green parts, okay? Next one, basil. So basil is called the oil of renewal. And this is one of those amazing oils that has a balancing effect on oxytocin, that hug, bug, feel good neurotransmitter, as well as cortisol and serotonin. So it's one of those all-rounder feel-good ones, especially when it's that time of the month, when you are getting a little bit annoyed and irritated with things and you don't actually know why, whether it is the moon affecting you, whether it's the energies affecting you, or whether it is your monthly cycle affecting you. Basil is a really good oil to reach for those kind of things. Again, it's something that has a really high concentration of linalool, and why I'm accentuating the linalool is if you're someone who is not really fond of the smell of lavender, obviously the ones with really high linalool concentrations, you could swap them out for that. So if you want the same benefits that you would get from a lavender and you don't really like lavender, then obviously you can go and reach for the oils that has got the linalool in there at a high concentration too. All right, so the basil is very renewing and calming, and you can use it to feel rejuvenated and renewed in your commitment to a higher life. All right. More than that, it's also it's for people who struggle to have close relationships. Okay, and even though we're all craving the one-to-one contact because we've just been not allowed to go near anyone, although we've all been craving that, I think it's going to be quite a thing to get adapted to again once we are allowed to literally move around again and join parties and go and see a lot of people. So I think basil is probably going to start playing a really big or can play a really big role in a lot of people's lives, because even though you're craving that contact, it might be that you haven't done it for such a long time, except maybe through a Zoom screen, that you are going to actually need that oxytocin to increase so that you feel that neurotransmitter that is really necessary there for you to be able to have good connections with people around you. Okay. Lavender. Let's get to the favorite, lavender. This is just such a beneficial oil. So whether you're going to be applying this topically in a skin cream or a lotion, because it's going to have skin benefits, you're also going to experience it aromatically, because those beautiful monoterpene alcohols that diffuse so quickly is going to go through your nasal passages, past the olfactory nerve sensors, which just sits just below that bone. Obviously the chemicals are then going to get sent to your limbic brain, lowering the cortisol, has got a sedative effect as well, really calming and soothing to the emotions, and it is a really beautiful oil if you're someone that loves lavender. I'm absolutely fond of lavender. Hey, it's one of my absolute favorites. And what it can do emotionally for you is to feel certain and collected during challenging communication. So here's another one you can use when you've got to go back out there into the challenging world, okay? Basil and lavender are going to be really beneficial once you start going out and you've got to get accustomed to dealing with quite a few people that you may perhaps not have been with in the last couple of months, okay? And how do we use all of these things? So you can use them aromatically, topically, and if your specific label of oil that you purchase does say safe for food use, it's going to have some nice advice on there on how to use it, how many drops, that kind of thing. So they can be used in all three. And if you think aromatically is not just in a diffuser, it's not just in the skin lotion, you can also use it for surfaces, because remember, these essential oils with these components are really good cleansers. So you can put it in your facial wash, you can add it to your vinegar and water surface cleansers that you clean your home with, then you're still going to get the aromatic benefit over and above the fact that they're going to clean really well, they're going to disinfect, okay? So there's various different ways, all right, to be able to use these essential oils safely and incorporate them into your daily wellness routines. Because what we're trying to get to at a stage is obviously to bring our bodies into balance. So we're supporting it with whatever it is that it needs support with, so that we are boosting our immune systems, so that we feel well, so that we laugh a lot, because that also does boost your immune system quite a lot. And all of these are obviously relevant topics right at this moment, in general in life too, but with the situation that we're dealing with at the moment. And I think it's going to help us all to transition into the new normal that we are going to have to get used to in the next week or two. Right, so I hope that was beneficial for you today. Just as a roundup, monoterpene alcohols, really cool chemical constituents, okay? And basically they are found in quite high concentrations in the oils that I mentioned today, the Melaleuca and tea tree, or tea tree I should say, Geranium, Coriander, Basil and Lavender. And then they also are prevalent in smaller concentration in almost every single essential oil out there, okay? So really beneficial oil to get to, or chemical constituent to get to know of and to start incorporating in your daily wellness routines. If you had any info in there that triggered something in you and you've got a friend that you think could need this information, share the love. Please share the video with them or the link with them, or tell them to go and visit my page. This is all just continued education on essential oils, especially the science behind the oils, because that is my thing. And I hope to see you all again next week, Thursday, for my next Facebook Live on botanically and alchemy of soothing botanic ingredients. Thank you. Cheerio.